Hello, my name is Shikhar Yadav. I'm from NLU Lucknow, here to discuss about my internship experience with Justice D Y Chandrachud. I'll divide this entire video in three parts. Firstly, I'll talk about the application process. Secondly, I'll talk about the screening test. And thirdly, I'll talk about the entire internship experience. Let's begin at the beginning. First, about how to apply. So it's a very easy process. You have to just do a simple Google search and you'd find a Google link, and once you click on that Google link you can apply. And when you're applying, there are like two stage process, and this brings to the second part, which is with respect to the screening test. So when you're applying, the first test begin at the stage of the initial application process only. In this first stage, you'll be given two things. Firstly, you'll be asked to give certain answers to few legal propositions which are there. You have to properly research on it, and then you have to give your legal opinion and your research note on the same. And secondly, you'll be asked to submit an SOP and also the learnings that you have had in other internship that you have done. So it's a reflective process which would help you to understand or get the law clerks an idea as to why you want to intern there. Also, there's a caveat here. If you want to apply, make sure you're applying 2 months prior to the desired month that you plan to intern. And it's like I've seen in the months of, let's say, November, December, or let's say April and like May, when the exam cycle gets over, there are there is a literal floods of internship application process. So I think you should divide your months carefully and strategically so that your chances to get this internship increases. So let's say in February or January, when there's less traffic, I think you should eye for these months. Now let's get to the second limb of the screening process. Let's say 20 students or 30 students have applied, then only 8 or 9 would get selected for the briefing test. Now, briefing test is the most essential test because not only it helps you to get an understanding or get this internship, but this would be the majority of the work when you are interning with Justice D Y Chandrachud. So how this entire process begins is that you get a Google Drive, and in that Google Drive there are several Google folders. The office provide you with certain videos as to how to make a brief, and they provide you with certain files and certain samples. Now you have to chalk out certain important things that you feel are important. This is what I did. I culled out certain things from the description video that the office or the law clerks provided to me. I think this becomes really helpful. A word of advice from my end is that once you're making the brief, what the law clerks prefer is that you write the facts succinctly, so you do not miss any important fact when you are preparing the brief, because that's one of the most important parts. And secondly, you reference each and every line. So every sentence that you have written, you reference it not from the synopsis of the case file, but from the annexures and the impugned judgment. When you do it, it gives you an added edge over other people, because in synopsis what happens is the parties who have filed the petition, they provide you facts which are generally favoring them. So the facts which might be certain, they might be colored with certain bias. So in my opinion, I think this would really increase your chances if you cite facts from annexures and from impugned judgment or impugned order. Let's then talk and let's move to the final limb of the actual internship process. I'll divide this in 3 parts: about the work environment, second about the court visits, and thirdly why I personally feel this is the most holistic experience. Firstly, about the work environment, I think this is one of the nicest places I've ever worked, because the law clerks are really, really accommodative. They're really flexible. It's a very positive environment. They're like so helping, so caring. Like I cannot like get enough of them, because they're like actually one of the nicest people that I've worked with. So the work environment is very positive, like actually very positive, because if you have an emergency, you can talk to your buddy is a personal mentor which is assigned to you, and then you can take a leave. If you're not feeling well, you can even work from home on certain days. So it's very flexible, as long as you complete the assignment that you have been provided with. It's very flexible and very positive. Secondly, about the court experiences, I think what this internship opportunity provides you is a deep insight as to how the court functions, because you get to visit courts or courtroom numbers. You also get a chance to visit all the conferences where Sir delivers his lectures. So that provides you with an opportunity to network with different people as well. And lastly, why I think it's really holistic, because you get to see the entire life of a trial. So once you're making brief, you're aware about the facts of the case, you know about the issues, then you go and like you visit the court. Then you actually hear the lawyers arguing on the disputed facts, which are the facts that they have hinged upon, which are the issues which the court is interested to listen. So you develop certain practical tools which might be helpful in your future. And lastly, you also get to hear about you also get to hear the judgments that the Sir deliver. So in that way, I think there is a vast scope of learning when it comes to this internship, and I would 100% recommend it to all the students who have thinking of applying here. I think this is one of the most insightful and insanely insightful experiences that I've had. Thank you.